If I know that I can fuck you up and I fuck you up, I'm probably a bad person. It's never good that a guy who is some trained killer goes after some regular guy, picks a fight with him and fucks him up. It's never thought of as good. It's always negative, like almost entirely negative. Like the entire fan base will recognize that terrible behavior.
It bothers them because they want to be special. They want me to be special. You go look at sporting events, you go look when they eat dinner, they are treated like they are special. But that is designed that way. And they want you guys to know that you're not special.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sean Strickland decided to respond and take shots at podcast host, UFC commentator, and comedian Joe Rogan for his out-of-touch and detached opinions on what the regular person should and shouldn't be doing. And since he is an elitist, he looks down on people like Sean Strickland. Or at least that's what he'll lead you to believe. Let's check it out. But first, please like, subscribe, comment down below, hit that notification bell so you never miss a clip. But for now, let's get into it.
That I can fuck you up and I fuck you up, I'm probably a bad person. It's never good that a guy who is some trained killer goes after some regular guy, picks a fight with him and fucks him up. It's never thought of as good. It's always negative, like almost entirely negative. Like the entire fan base will recognize that terrible behavior.
Alrighty, so if you would have just seen that first portion of the clip from Sean Strickland's Instagram post, you would think, wow, Joe Rogan's a dirtbag. He's talking crazy shit about Sean Strickland. But it's a bit misleading due to the fact that that portion of that clip from the JRE podcast that he's having a conversation with his guest has nothing at all to do with Sean Strickland. What they're speaking about in that portion is about domestic violence.
That it's true. Women should be seen as something that requires additional protection, that are precious and should be respected. If you derogate the stuff up here, sure, maybe it means that you liberate some of the upper class women to be able to go and do whatever they want. But what does this cause downstream when you don't have those guardrails in place for the men that the lower class women are dating?
Yeah, well, just all men, period. And it should be, and here's the thing, this is how it's looked upon in the martial arts world. If I know that I can fuck you up and I fuck you up, I'm probably a bad person. It's never good that a guy who is like some trained killer goes after some regular guy, picks a fight with him and fucks him up. It's never thought of as good. It's always negative, like almost entirely negative. Like the entire fan base will recognize that terrible behavior.
Now, I'm not saying Joe Rogan didn't have anything negative to say or critique Sean Strickland during his podcast conversation with fellow podcaster Chris Williamson, but it is not as sensationalized as the clip that Sean Strickland put out on his Instagram that has now received over 3 million views and 200,000 likes. It's just not what happened in the conversation. But let's continue to watch Sean Strickland's post on Instagram to see what critiques he has on Joe Rogan and other elitists.
Bothers them because they want to be special. They want me to be special. You go look at sporting events, you go look when they eat dinner, they are treated like they are special. But that is designed that way. And they want you guys to know that you're not special. They want you guys to know that when you're sitting in that fucking nosebleed seat, you're not special. Even though you are the motherfuckers that finance this sport, they want you guys to know that you suck. When I go and wrestle a guy fucking on the ski slopes, that is fucking awesome, man. I love the fact that you woke up, you went snowboarding, you see me, so I want to fight this man. I fucking love it. I respect it. I respect Sneeko for getting his ass kicked. So we got his fucking ass kicked. We all get our asses kicked. I get my ass kicked every day in life, in training, in fights, by fucking the government. We all get our asses kicked. Make no mistake, you guys. What bothers them the fucking most is I tell them they're not special. When I tell them they're just a bunch of cunts behind a camera. Fuck these people.
If I know.
Alrighty, so a lot of digest. And I actually agree with a lot of what Sean Strickland said. The only problem is that he's going based off of an opinion of a clip that he might have. I'm not sure who showed Sean Strickland this clip. Maybe someone in his camp or his group or someone in his I'm not too sure, someone in his friend group or maybe his people, whoever. I mean, someone edited this video together. So someone in his team is, editing videos at least. But someone must have showed him this clip and be like, hey, Joe's talking about you. And he didn't actually get to see, or maybe he did see the portion where what Joe actually said about Sean and Sneeko sparring. But he wasn't really down talking Sean too much in that clip. The actual video, in the actual clip portion of the podcast where he is talking about Sean Strickland, he's not really giving too much critique to Sean. I'm more like saying I'm not understanding why he did it or why he would want to do that, since he knows he can totally dominate him. He was more critiquing Sneeko actually in that clip, in the actual clip, but I'm not refuting the portion what Sean Strickland is talking about. Yeah, there is elitists. There are people that want to, keep you down. And yeah, of course, there's people that think that they're special and, you shouldn't get to, interact with celebrities. Like if someone's like, hey, I'm going to play one-on-one pickup, I'm going to ask LeBron James to play me one-on-one, even though I know LeBron James could destroy me in basketball. They feel like, oh, why would you even ask? They're so much greater than you. And Sean's point is, we're all people. It doesn't matter. You can, he commends the person that's like, I know I'll get beat up, but I'm still willing to go into the cage with them. That is commendable. And a lot of people wanted to, hate on Sneeko for what he did, but he did it. He got into the ring. He backed up his. He said he would do it, and he did do it. So we're expecting Sneeko to knock out Sean Strickland, or just the fact that he didn't get knocked out unconscious right away, I saw that as a dub. I'm not a huge Sneeko hater or fan. Some of his stuff is funny. I do enjoy it, and some of it is cringy. I mean, with anything and everyone, it's balanced. I'm not saying he's terrible or he's great. He's just a regular person. So a lot of people that came for Sneeko and wanted to attack him, he didn't get knocked out cold. Sean Strickland, he's not a power puncher. He's not really a knockout artist. So I saw a lot of people hating on Sean or hating on Sneeko, but I'm just like, hey, it's something they did. Sean is known to spar with random people off the street. If you go to Sean's training camp and you ask to spar him, he will spar you. He does not care. He will do the man dance with you. He does not, but he's also not going to go easy on you. He's going to give you the full blast. He's going to go 100%. So you can't knock him for that. But I think he was a bit misleading, or he was misled. I'm not sure if he saw the actual clip of Joe Rogan speaking about the situation, but the portion that they decided to use, it did make it seem a lot more intense of a conversation than it actually was. And let's go actually into the portion of the interview where Joe does speak on the Sean Strickland versus Sneeko sparring. And let's check that out and see if we can't break that down a bit.
Sean Strickland, who continues to he seems to be sparring like any YouTuber or streamer that's prepared to get into the ring with him.
Well, he beat up that kid who's a smaller than him streamer named Sneeko, which is not a good look. He beat the shit out of that guy.
Yeah.
I just don't know why he wanted to do that. It's so easy for him to beat that guy up.
Well, it was what we were talking about before.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's just...
Alrighty, so that was it. He just said it's not a good look and that it wasn't fair. He didn't say anything crazy. He didn't say, he picked a fight with him. In the post that Sean Strickland made, he says, I didn't pick the fight against Sneeko. He wanted to spar with me. But Joe Rogan or no one ever said that Sean Strickland picked a fight with him. That's the problem when you're only seeing things in clips, or someone shows you like, hey, check out this clip of Joe Rogan trashing you about what you did and what men do, and knowing you can beat somebody up at what that you're bigger than. Yeah, he saw that and he must have been like, well, fuck Joe or whatever. But that's not what happened. And my problem sometimes is also with these MMA channels that they posted what Sean said, his video. They posted the whole thing, but did zero research about, was it factual? Did that actually happen? They did not clarify, hey, just to let you guys know, the portion that Sean clipped out, Joe Rogan wasn't talking about Sean at all. So they're kind of also letting this negative light or this idea that Joe had a bad take on Sean Strickland just face through. One of the big MMA channels that I did see on YouTube that, posted the clip and reported it as like whatever Sean had said was the factual portion of the clip was Full Mount MMA. They did not I watched their video on it. I watched their clip. I was like, hey, it was kind of disingenuous that they never said, hey, by the way, the portion that Sean clipped out from Joe Rogan's podcast had nothing to actually do with him. We live in the era of like clipping and, a good title, a good clip, trumps everything else. It doesn't matter that the portion that he got had nothing to do with what Sean Strickland is addressing. He had nothing to do with it. They were talking about domestic violence. Joe will actually go on to give Sean Strickland some praises, and also will go on to, say that he learned something from, the Alex Pereira fight. And when he went to spar with him, as far as the clips that Joe's seen, see, once again, the issue with only watching clips is that he wasn't going full blast with Alex Pereira. And he suggests, why would you go full blast with this other guy that you can dominate? Well, it's because Alex Pereira has knocked him out. So they were more, touching and feeling each other out. Let's check it out.
It's not really. The kid, I don't know what that kid thought. First of all, he's so silly for doing that, for agreeing to do that with Sean Strickland.
Because you know that he's never going to have that hold back.
If you agree to do that with Israel Adesanya, Israel Adesanya will take care of you. I swear to God. He'll pop you a little bit and let you know that you're helpless. But he won't fuck you up. He'll smile and laugh, and he'll hug you afterwards. You could spar with him. I guarantee you could spar with him. And then just touch your face, just to let you know. Like, you would have been knocked out, but I just touched your face. Just going to touch you a little bit. Move around. You can't touch me. I touch you. Here's a feint, and it's coming at you. And if he's kicking, you're fucked. But even if he's just using his hands, if you're like some streamer, he wouldn't hurt you. But Sean Strickland's a different animal. Sean Strickland has... he's got this fucking man code, and he believes in it. Like, you got to get your ass kicked every now and then. He spars all the time, spars constantly. And if you agree to get in there with him, you're essentially agreeing to let him beat the fuck out of you, because you don't really have a chance. Like, you have no chance. But in Sean's defense, when he lost to Alex Pereira, one of the first things he did was go to Connecticut to Glover Teixeira's gym where Alex trains and train with him. When we was training with Alex Pereira, he was light sparring. So this is fucking light. Find the video.
So yeah, he goes on to praise Sean Strickland. It just seemed really odd, the fact that no one caught the fact that the clip that Sean is, putting out to, his 2 million followers, 3 million people have seen it, over, 200,000 likes, is not accurate at all. And, these reporting channels, these MMA channels, just run with his narrative, never once questioning, is this clip out of context? What are they talking about? You never hear Joe Rogan actually say Sean's name in that portion. So that's why I decided to dig into it and see exactly what was going on. So I decided to check it out. Alrighty, so yeah, I'm gonna be looking at some of these comments. Even what Sean Strickland said, I didn't pick a fight. He wanted it. They don't get it. Everyone likes the video. These people spend more money than you make in a year on DRS and injections, just trying to live forever. He's saying they're out of touch. It bothers him that I interact with you guys in the world. And then people are just like, Joe missed the part where these guys are asking to fight you. It says, new Andrew Tate. It's refreshing to see someone not sucking up to Joe. Joe Rogan versus Sean Strickland next. Joe had a good point. Sean has a better one. But the thing is that they have none of these people. I filtered through some of the comments to see if anyone's like, hey, just to let you guys know, he's not talking about Sean in this clip, and not one of these people knew, or no one. This time Joe was wrong. You're right. Joe is out of touch with multimillionaires. Just ignore these guys. All these things are being said. Now all these people have a perception that Joe was saying in this clip that he was talking about Sean when he's actually talking about domestic violence. And if you want to see a video of me criticizing a girls volleyball match in Canada where the majority of the players on the court at any time were all males, click this box right here or click it. It'll be right here. Oh, it's going to be right here somewhere. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, hit that notification bell so you never miss a clip. Thanks.